It's coming up. Awesome. Great. Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever we're connecting from. It's a pleasure to have everyone here. It's a pleasure to have everyone on the group, first of all, because we first joined on the group, right? And it's also a pleasure to have everyone join tonight. Tonight is going to be a meet and greet. This meet and greet is to help you know what this program is about, is to help you know what we're trying to do, what's the benefit, what would you gain from joining the meet and from joining the weekend bootcamp, what is different from this, what is here for me, all of those questions that you definitely would want to have or get answers to. The name of the voice that you're hearing is in the person of Timothy. I like to go by the name Timothy, but you can still call me Chukwemeka or Amifule. All right, so skip the introduction. I like to know us. I like to get to know us. So first, let's use the reaction button. Let's take a sensor. Let's take a census. I like to know if you're joining from the tools group. That's the weekend bootcamp. The two WhatsApp group where we have Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Can you use the reaction button? So just raise your hand. If you're joining from the two group, Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, you're joining from the two group, like that means you join the two group. Just keep your hands up. Just keep your hands up. I just want to take a census of how many of us are coming from the tools. Okay, that's about four. That's about four. We have about over 40 people in the class group on WhatsApp. So our advice that please share on the group, let others join, because tonight is where all the questions is going to be answered. Okay, all the questions that we have in mind is going to be answered. Okay, yes. So thank you all for raising your hand. I think we have four people. You can put your hand down now. I'd like to know those that are joining from the programming language group. That's those that are in Python and SQL and R. You're joining from Python, SQL, R. You could raise your hand. Python, SQL, R. We're just taking a census to know how many of us. So that's about four people as well. Okay, I know. Oh, that's five, six. So that's six people. I know some of us join both, but it's fine. I just want to know how many are in here and how many are here. And if you're in both, it's still fine to raise your hand. I just want to know how many are in where. Because each of these track are different coaches, different facilitators, different programs. So it's very important to know how many are coming from where. Okay, so with that being said, it's a pleasure to have everyone. My name is Timothy, and I will be the voice you would be hearing all through tonight's session. Tonight is meet and greet. Okay, it means that we are going to meet each other and get to know more about what we're doing. Just like when you go for an event and you're asked to network, how will you network? What is the first thing you would do if you go to a networking session? If you're in a networking if you are in a networking event, or if you're in an event and you have to network, what would you start with? Would you start with, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? You look like one fat big cheese ball. Is that what you're gonna start with? No. You're first gonna start with your name, like, hi, what's up? How you doing? My name is Timothy. I love data. And then all of those things you do when you go out or when you network in an event. That's what tonight is gonna be like. It's like a networking event. It's like a networking session. So we're gonna start first by getting to know ourselves. I've told you a bit of myself. I like to know you. I like to know your name. I like to know where you're connecting from. And I like to know what's your expectation. Okay. Myself and a team of amazing people, including your coaches, are here. Some of your coaches are actually here, and they're going to be here to get to know more about us. They're going to be here to get to know more about our expectations. So be open to speak, be open to share your thoughts. And with that, I'd like to know those that want to give an introduction of themselves. We do not have much time, so I probably will not call everybody, but I'll call all those that their hands is up. So if you want to do an introduction of yourself, you can raise your hand, and I'll call your name, and then you go ahead and do an introduction. Remember, it's a meet and greet. We just want to get to know each other. And getting to know each other is to know first our names and where we're from and what we are expecting, and then we get into other conversations. So if you want to share an introduction of yourself, you can just leave your hands up, and after I call you for the introduction, then you can put your hand down. But I like to see those that want to introduce themselves. Now, you might be asking, why should I introduce myself? Now, I'll tell you two things that is important to always do when you go for events, which is introduce yourself. Because It's the people that talk. Have you discovered that when you go for events, the people that talk, the people that ask questions, are the people that are noticed. They are the people that people observe. They are the people that people connect with them after the event, right? They are the people that people want to get to know more about them and be friends with them because they spoke while like in the session. So when you go for event, try to like be the first person to introduce yourself. Because when you introduce yourself, you're just putting yourself in that spotlight, and it's good to be in the spotlight. I know some of us are introverts and we're like, I don't want to talk about myself. I just want to be in the crowd. Nothing happens in the crowd, trust me. Nothing happens in the crowd. Okay, so let's go straight to Hamzat. Hi Hamzat, good evening. How you doing? Do you want to do an introduction of yourself? Hamzat, are you there? Okay, so I'm guessing Hamzat, if you're speaking, your mic is muted. You want to unmute yourself? Okay, I guess Hamzat probably can hear us or it's the network. Please note that when you cannot hear me, it means it's the network. So I'll advise you leave the call and join back. And if you cannot hear me, give a notification. If it's me that has a network problem, I'll gladly leave the call and join back. But then, if you cannot hear me, it's your network. So leave and join back. All right, Hamzat is now available to do an introduction. Let's talk to Yusuf. Hi, Yusuf. Good evening. How are you doing? You want to do an introduction of yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Yusuf Abdulmatin. I'm connecting from Akure. Yeah, I hope to learn more about data analysis, to know the paths to data analysis. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Nice to meet you, Yusuf. Hi, John. Good evening. How you doing? Do you want to do an introduction of yourself?
Okay, good evening everyone. My name is John Emeka. I'm connecting from Ogun State. I want to further enhance my expertise in Power BI. So I'm looking forward to a weekend of engagement, learning new things about Power BI and being a proficient in how to use it for analysis. That's my expectation. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. That's very good. Yes. Just before I forget, I like to say this, which is if you're going to be good in data skills, if you're going to be very good in what you do as a data person, I will recommend to always, join webinars on weekend basis, especially on weekend basis. Why is because every week, make sure you're learning something new. If you cannot personally research on your own and learn things, or you cannot take a course during the weekend, then join a program where you're going to learn something, because that's the only way you're going to grow. That's the only way your traction is going to be very active. That's how to share more important stuff on your LinkedIn. Because imagine you have to like always post how you're very active in attending programs and learning new stuff. When people see your post, they're like, wow, this person is always learning. Like that's what they're going to see. They're not going to see how you're consistent only. They're going to see how you're committed to your growth. And that thing is so attractive, very, very attractive. So this is me saying it's good to always look for places where you can learn new stuff. So I think I like your interests, Emeka. That's good. Okay, one more person hand is up. Oh, everybody hands went down except Timothy. I mean, for those that are raising hand earlier. All right, Timothy. Good evening. Do you want to do an introduction of yourself, please?
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I hear you clearly. How are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. Here's Timothy on the line. This Timothy Shijade Oluwasomi on the line. I'm connected from Ibadan. I would like to know more about data analysis. I've been into data entry a lot of times, but I think I need to. I've done data science, but I just want to be grounded in data analysis using different tools.
Mm, right. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this boot camp is not only for beginners. So if you're not a beginner, it's not a bad thing to be here, because being here allows you to refresh your knowledge. and recall some basic stuff. You know, a lot of us learned with it was hard learning for a lot of us. It was hard learning. We could not afford a course. So what we did was to learn from different resources, different platforms, different YouTube handles, different blogging accounts and all that. So learning was hard for a lot of us. But here we are, here. So you necessarily don't need to be a beginner or a novice. I mean, so yeah, you necessarily don't need to be an intermediate, all right, to say, oh, I don't need to be here. No, no, no. Actually, you're here to refresh your knowledge on data, some basic stuff, some fundamental stuff. You know how important it is for you to say, what is the meaning of data? I mean, it's hard for us to say we do not know the definition of data analysis, but someone that have spent like 5 years to 6 years, his definition of data analysis will be way different from someone that is just starting, right? And trust me, if you're someone that is genuinely good at what you do, you will always want to still visit beginners level data analysis because it allows you to remember like, oh wow, that's true. This stuff, oh my god, I remember this stuff back then, this function. Some people don't even know how to use some functions, like, because I can't remember last time I wrote some function, like let's not go there. So being here is not only for beginners, okay? It's to help you refresh your beginner knowledge, your basic knowledge, your core knowledge. Because if you do not have a good fundamental, trust me, you probably not even be the intermediate level you're claiming to be. So don't feel, this is for beginners and novices, I'm out of here. Nah, nah, nah. Be here. Be here, okay? You're gonna know more about this program, I promise you. But for now, I won't say much. Okay, Hamzat, your hand is up again. So do you want to do an introduction of yourself? You'll be the last person that we get into today's class. Hamzat. Hamzat.
So, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Mazidat Amzat by name. I'm connecting from Ibadan. I would like to know a lot about data analysis because I'm still a beginner.
All right, cool. Nice to have you on the call, Hamzat. Okay, so I believe everyone that raised their hand earlier has been addressed. Now, let's get into the business for tonight. And before I get into the business, I like to welcome our coaches. I don't know if they are able to unmute themselves, but it's fine. I will still introduce them at the ending part of the meeting. I just want to recognize them. We have about 6 coaches that are here, 6 facilitators, 6 mentors across all tools. I'm talking about all these tools: Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Python, SQL. The 6 of them are here. I've not run through the whole check, but the 6 of them should be here to address us. The 6 of them should be here to, listen to our feedbacks and all that. They're actually here. I see a number of them, and I'm very excited to have them. It's a pleasure to have all of our coaches, all of our mentors. Thank you for joining this weekend. I promise it's going to be an amazing time for everyone, including us, that is a student. It's going to be an amazing time for us. It's going to be an amazing time for them. I know they have a lot of things that they're doing, but they chose to be here with us. So what we could just do is recognize them and appreciate their presence. All right, so let's get into the business for today, shall we? The first thing, I'm going to be coming from a question-based approach. So you probably would need to listen more and keep a writing part beside you because your program has actually started. I didn't do a lot of content in the slide because I do not want us to be bored with reading content instead of listening and taking notes. So first, let's start with a question. So I'm going to be coming from a question perspective, question answer perspective. So you're going to see question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. And you're going to be like, oh my God, what kind of, don't feel that way though. That's what I'm just trying to say. I'm giving you a forehand knowledge so you don't feel discomfortable. So let's start with the first question. What is the Weekend Bootcamp about and how does it benefit me? That's the question you're asking right now. What's this bootcamp about? I'll tell you what this bootcamp about. 2 things. One is we want to explore all of the tools we're interested in, all of the industry tool that is out there, all of the tools that everyone is talking about, everyone is asking us, learn this, learn Excel, learn Tableau, learn Power BI, learn Python, learn R. We want to explore all of those tools. We want to listen to professionals, coaches, mentors that will teach us about these tools and how they use it. That's one thing. The second thing that makes this bootcamp is we want to get to have a hands-on experience, okay? We want to have a hands-on experience. We want to technically do it. We want to see how data can be analyzed in these tools. We just don't want to hear about it. We want to feel it. We want to touch it. We want to download an application. We want to open our Excel that we've not opened in a long time. If you've not opened one, we want to import a data. We want to have like that whole feeling of the data analyst thing. That's what I want to do this weekend. That's the second thing. Did I say two things? It's actually three things, actually. And then the third thing is we want to present to an audience what we've learned in this 2 weekend. Is that amazing? That's amazing. That's just amazing. Like in the first three goals is what we've designed the weekend bootcamp for. One, get to meet people that have like industry knowledge, professionals, coach, mentors that will help us learn more about how they use this tool. So you're learning from their experience, which is easy than you going on YouTube to go and learn so many things. Nah, we're saying learn from these people. Then that's one. Two, learn how to like practically use these things. Learn the hands-on of these things. Okay. And then the third thing is you're gonna be presenting whatever you learn on the last day of this weekend, of the last day of the weekend, to an audience, to some judge, to some industry leaders. So let's say, for example, you join the class and you learn Microsoft Excel, and you took the practice session of the class and you did a bit of an hands-on. Friday, Saturday is the training. Friday, Saturday is the bootcamp. On Sunday, you're coming on Sunday to present what you've learned in slide and sharing some of your workbook that you did the analysis on. So that's what's going to happen. Friday, Saturday is your class, is your bootcamp. And on Sunday, we're bringing industry leaders that you're going to present your project to. You're going to share them what you've learned during the weekend, and they're going to listen to you. They're going to ask you a few questions to test your technical knowledge. If you actually listened in the program, if you actually taught some things that is fundamental, they're going to ask you questions. You're going to give them feedback. And that way, you're going to have like that feeling where you're presenting your project to stakeholders. And I think that's amazing. That's one thing we do not do as data guys, which is when we do our projects, we don't get the chance to present that project to a number of people. We don't get to present that project to audience. We do that project and we go to LinkedIn and we share it. I feel like that's not enough, because how many people actually tell you, oh, you didn't get this, oh, you didn't get this on LinkedIn? How many will tell you that for a truth? Few people tell you that. Even your friends will not even tell you. I think they will just give you all the likes and all the reactions and, oh wow, amazing work, oh, I like your color. And trust me, having good feedback is not enough. You want to grow, you want to learn, you want to improve. So you should go for the negative feedback so that you can use that to grow, because the good feedback is already your strength. I don't know if somebody's figuring out what I'm saying. Just talking to an audience that is just quiet and like, oh my God, yeah. So that's the truth. You want to present your project, and that's one thing I know we're not doing. If you take a course on Udemy, who screens your project on Udemy? Because what you just do is you share your project. Oh, you got a certificate. You put a certificate there. Nobody sits you down and say, oh, we saw your project. I think you should correct this. Nobody looks at your project before you even share it on LinkedIn. You just trust that you've been able to do so much. So I feel a lot of, except you're going through a training. If it's not a training, I'm talking about like a personal project. I'm not talking about a full training now. I'm talking about like maybe a 3 weeks course, or a 1 week course, or a weekend course, or a brush up course. Nobody screens your project. So we are hoping that Sunday you will join this call, and on Sunday you're going to listen to your coach and some industry leaders and people in the community that wants to learn from your project will be there. They will listen to your project, be part of it. And whenever you've done the correction that you get from the correction date on Sunday, you put it back on LinkedIn, and then we as a community will join and like your post and react to your project that you shared, that you got from the weekend bootcamp. So it's like a community way of learning. It's actually a way of growing. And we don't hope to do this once. We hope to do this at least twice every month. So imagine that you had an opportunity to always learn new stuff, and not just learn new stuff. You learn with mentors, with leaders, with coach that can actually guide you. I wish I had an opportunity. Like I said, some of us, we struggled when we were learning. When we started our journey, it was hard. But thank God, now we have some platform to help us learn. I know sometimes people get discouraged. They're like, oh, that's another WhatsApp group. Oh boy, I'm going back to another WhatsApp group. I'm leaving one and I'm joining one, or I'm in like 5. No. The goal is not to be in a WhatsApp group. The goal is to make sure you're learning and you're being part of that community to grow yourself. You're taking advantage of the people in that place to help you learn. You're using them to grow. They're like a step for you to get to your top. But if you're just there as a group, trust me, you're just gonna be there as a group. You're not gonna grow, you're not gonna learn, you're not gonna, even though Elon Musk is in that group, you will not get the best from it because to you, that's a group. You're not using or leveraging the people in that group. You're not connecting with anybody, you're just there. So that's what this bootcamp is about. Okay, so if you are going to benefit from this bootcamp, you need to understand that your growth can happen if you intentionally key into this program. And if you're trying to like refresh your knowledge in some basics, trust me, this is where you need to start from because this will help you refresh your knowledge. Now, let's talk about the model of this bootcamp. So in the first weekend, I'm sure you know already that there are two groups, right? There are two groups. There is the two and there is the language. In the two group is this weekend, which is starting tomorrow. So Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and what's the last one? Just to be sure you guys are following me. Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and what's the other one? What's the other one?
Tableau, right?
Tableau.
Tableau. Great. Tableau. Yeah. So this first weekend, we're going to start with Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and Tableau. We're just going first for the tools, no coding, just tools. Yeah. And guess what? These three programs are going to be running at the same time. I know, right? They are not going to be happening, oh, Excel first. Then, no. They're going to be happening at the same time. 3 different classes will be going on at the same time. So I know it's going to be hard to decide which class to join. But guess what? Because we thought about it among ourselves and we felt like, oh my God, how are we going to like carry everybody along? So we decided that Power BI and Tableau is going to be this weekend. Excel is going to be next week, Wednesday and Thursday, so that we will not get into next week's session for those doing the programming language. So that means this weekend we're just going to be doing Tableau and Power BI. So you choose any of the two you want to join. The link to their classes is going to be shared on the group, and then you choose which one do you want to join. You can't be in two at the same time, of course, you know. Then you have to be in one because the class is about 2 hours and 30 minutes. The class is 2 hours 30 minutes. So you have to be in one class, listen, connect, enjoy yourself, ask questions, practice, take exercises, connect with the coach and all that. So this weekend, which is starting from tomorrow, being Friday, you're going to be learning or working with Microsoft Power BI, yes, and Tableau. So it's 2 tools are going to be happening simultaneously. So it's you that will have to choose, but the beautiful thing is you get to be in one class that is your weakness. So choose the one that is your weakness, choose the one that is your strength, choose the one that you want to know more about. So the question is, what happens to the other one, right? I'm coming, don't worry. There's a section for questions. You're gonna ask me all your questions. So just keep that question in your mind, keep it on your jotter, keep it on your pod, keep it somewhere, but you will get to ask me, okay? So Power BI and Tableau is going to be happening this weekend. Then Excel is going to be happening next week, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. The coach is currently not settled because he has like a major event happening this weekend for him to, and we don't want to switch the coach because he has an amazing stuff he wants to walk us through, and he has like a lot of resources he want to share with us. So we just feel like there's no need bringing someone else. Let's just work with him. And since we have 3 tools happening in one weekend, let's just make it 2 tools happening one weekend, then his class can be during the week. And of course, some of us already have a level knowledge of Excel. So Excel probably will not be a new thing for some of us, but Tableau and Power BI, come on, you know what it feels like when you were going through that project in Power BI and you were stuck and you had to watch like 5 videos to figure it out. Come to the Power BI class. You're in Tableau, you have an interest with Tableau, you want to know more about this tool, you want to enjoy the amazing community that Tableau is building around it, social media wise, LinkedIn wise, and all that. You want to meet with an ambassador in Tableau, come to the Tableau class. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to meet 2 amazing coaches in 2 different classes happening simultaneously, talking to you about what and why and how we use these tools to analyze data. If you think this makes sense to you, use the reaction button. I mean, come on. It's something that makes sense. I mean, because if you have the opportunity to learn with someone, which will you prefer? Learn alone or learn with someone? I think learning with someone is going to go a long way faster even. Okay, so let's get to the next question. So the next question is, how many weekend is this bootcamp? This is just going to be 7 questions. After 7 questions, we're done for tonight. It's just 7 questions. So just be a little bit patient with me. I'm going somewhere here. So just 2 weekends, just 2 weekends, 3 days in a week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is your class. So on Friday and Saturday is your bootcamp, and then on Sunday is your presentation. So it means you have to do whatever task that is given to you during those days before your class on Sunday. Because on Sunday night, you're going to be presenting with your fellow team or individual, depending on the style your mentor chooses. And then there's industry leaders in the group, people in finance, leaders in e-commerce, leaders in academics, leaders in, what's the last section? Sir? Leaders in agriculture, yeah. So you're going to be having interaction with these leaders, and they're going to screen your project. They're going to ask you questions. Your coach is also going to be one of your judges. So your coach is going to ask you questions based on some of the things you learned in class and all that. So it's going to be 2 weekends. In the first weekend, we are treating the tools. In the second weekend, we are treating the language. That's why I asked when we started, how many of us is in the tools, how many of us is in the language? Because these two are different weeks, okay? So by next weekend, if you're in the if you're in the language, by next weekend, just get ready to explore SQL, Python, and R. But if you're in the language, get ready. Next weekend, you're going to be doing Python, R, and SQL. But if you're in the 2, this week, you're going to be doing Power BI and Tableau. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to be doing Excel. It's just a hands-on approach. Okay, so let's go to the next question, which is question 3, which is, what if I miss a session? How can I catch up? So if you miss a session, you want to be in Power BI, you want to be in Tableau, and 2 of them are like happening at the same time. Are you going to split yourself? Are you going to tell your brother, join this, let me join this? Or are you going to tell your babe to join this and let you join this? Nah, you don't have to do all that. The class is recorded. All the classes are going to be recorded, all of them. So the recording is going to be available on YouTube. Okay, so it's just for you to check out the YouTube channel if you missed 1 or 2 things, and then join the presentation when they are presenting their project and listen to what they learned, and then join and then check out the content on YouTube. All right. I know there is a content about learning 3, 4, 5 tools at the same time, but the beauty is learn 1, 2, and be very good at it. So that's why we're asking you to join 1 class per weekend, not 2 classes, not 3 classes. Join 1 class per weekend, learn 1, 2, and understand it well, and have a mentor in that too. Have a leader in that too. Have someone you can ask questions about that too. Don't learn 3 tools and then have like everywhere you want to do Excel project, you want to do Power BI project. No, this is a weekend thing. There are still more weekends that is coming for the weekend bootcamp. I promise you, the weekend bootcamp is going to be amazing. We just started. This is the first edition, and a lot of things are going to happen, and you're going to enjoy it. But for now, let's just live in the present, which is learn 1, 2 per weekend. Okay. So in 1 weekend, learn 1, 2. In the other weekend, learn another. Don't take 2 tools at the same time. You have enough weekend. And the year is coming to an end, so you could just take this time to like brush up on 1 or 2 things. Let's go to the next question, which is question 4. In question 4, the question is, what platform would the bootcamp be hosted on? Okay, so the bootcamp is actually going to be hosted on Google Meet. So we're going to be using Google Meet. The way we are connected now is how we're going to be connected in the classrooms. Okay, Google Meet. And when it's done on Google Meet, it will be recorded, and the recorded session will be sent to the YouTube account. So you're going to our community YouTube page. I'm sure some of us are following the page. If you're not, please, one of our admins will send the link to our YouTube page on the community group. Please try to connect with us on the community group so you can, on the community YouTube, so that you can get notification when the video is up. But the video will be up immediately after the class, the night of that same day. The video will be up, so you can always check it out and refresh your learning. And as well, if you're in a particular class, you can even still learn again what you learned in the class. All right, so very important to know that the class is going to be on Google Meet, and the link is going to be sent in your class group. All right, if you're in the tools, it's going to be sent to the tools. If you're in the language, it's not going to be sent in the language. So if you want to join the tool, just ask on the group, and any of the admin will help you join the tool. And if you don't want to join, that's fine, because it means that you've defined what you want. But if you want everything, just ask, and then the tool link will be shared to you so you can join the tool. But this weekend is for the twos. Okay. So let's go to the next question, which is my number 5 questions. Number 5 question says, what measures has been put in place to help me get the best out of this bootcamp? Of course, you want to know how you can benefit from this program, right? I'll tell you 3 things that you can do to benefit from this program. One, don't miss the time of your class. Because if you miss Friday class, you won't come on Saturday and be asking Friday class. The coach will not be that patient to do that. And there's no time. There's no time to go back to repeat Friday class. So take an advantage and join the class and listen and have a jotter and have like charge your batteries, have a good internet because it's going to be online, purely online. So have like your jotter, have your internet, have join the class. That's just the first thing I'll tell you. The second thing I'll tell you that you can do to benefit from this program is ask questions and ask for more information if you feel information given to you is not clear enough. You know when okay, how do you know somebody understands what you're saying? Is it by when they nod their head? I mean, some people think it's when people nod their head, then you think you understand. What if they're just nodding their head because they're trying to tell you, just continue with you, but they're not with you? So the truth is, you have to ask questions. Questions like, are you with me? Do you understand what I said? Do you want to repeat back what I said? So you need to ask questions. That's what I'm saying, guys. You need to ask questions. You need to be open to this coach to ask them as much questions as you can. Because it's the questions that you ask that will help you understand better. So that's the second thing you can do to get the best out of this program. The third thing you can do to get the best out of this program is to leverage on those that are in the class that feels that you feel they are more aware of this thing, or they are smarter, or they are following better than you. Because I've learned one thing, which is when you connect with people and you guys connect well, these people will always remember, oh, they had a session and that's where they met you. And it just gives you that opportunity to meet more people that are doing what you're doing, and you can connect with them better. Try to know, what do you do aside data? Do you have a LinkedIn page you and I can connect with? After this program, can we do a project together? It just allows you to like meet more people that are doing what you're doing, and you make a friend from it. So these are like the 3 things I'll advise you to get the best. That's from your side. From our side as the organizers, what are we going to do to make you get the best out of this program? I'll tell you another 3 things. One is we are going to always keep our word, which is the class is going to start exactly the time it's supposed to start. The link is going to be there. The class is going to be recorded. The coach are ready to take you through an amazing journey. I've had conversations with them today, and they are still ready to do this. I know, right? They're still ready to do this, and they're hoping to see you guys in the class. So on our part, we're going to play our part to make sure that your coach are there and you have the resource that you need, which is the environment created. And the group is also going to be there to answer your questions. All right. And then you can get the best out of this program. I know that some of us might be having a time zone challenge, especially those outside of West Africa. All right, so please always ask questions if the time doesn't favor you. All right, if the time is not clear to you, if you have to ask a question, you're in UK and you want to know what's the time right now, or what will be the time over there in UK, in West Africa, just ask the question and someone is going to respond as fast as they can, because you don't want to miss this. That's just what I'm saying. All right, so that's one of the things we're going to do to help you get the best out of this. Let's move on to the second to the last question, which is, what would you recommend I do to better prepare for this bootcamp? I'll tell you 2 things to better do so that you can get the best out of this program. One is try to learn and be intentional about what you're learning. Make sure you learn something and make sure you're intentional about what you're learning. And then when you learn this thing, I know it might sound, is it not, what's the word now? Must I post everything I learn? Yes, you must post everything you learn. Try to share what you're learning on your socials, especially LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, I don't know what you're doing. As a data person, if you're not on LinkedIn, I don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry if I sound that way. But I don't know what you're doing if you're not on LinkedIn and you're a data person. Because LinkedIn is like that place where data community is strong. I don't know if anybody have noticed. Like software guys, they probably might not be using LinkedIn. Okay. Software guys, they use a lot of GitHub. Like they can be on GitHub the whole day. I don't know if you have noticed any software guy. He can be on GitHub like morning to night. What he's doing is he's fucking code, he's doing repository, he's doing a lot of stuff. If you come to designers, designers are on Behance. If you ask them what they are doing, first place they go to when they log in on their system is Behance. They want to go to Behance. They want to see what people are saying about their project. Where the data guys go? LinkedIn. Come on. That's where business people also go to LinkedIn. They just want to share what they're doing with their business. Startup founders go to LinkedIn. So if you're a business person or if you're a career person and you're into data analysis, you need to have an active LinkedIn account. So while you're learning what you're learning, try to share them on LinkedIn. Try to tag your coach to the learning on LinkedIn. Ask him for his handle. Try to know more about how you can post it on LinkedIn. Ask enough questions because you probably might not be able to have access to them after this program. And you can even follow them up after the program. So go to their DM and all that. But then that's one thing I'll tell you for sure. That's how to get the best out of this program. That's how to be better prepared. That's one. Then two, another thing to do is help somebody that is interested in starting or someone interested in knowing more. You know, you might not know, but someone that learns and become good at something will never forget you that shared in that opportunity. That's it. That's it. You think people forget people that help them get to where they are in life? They never forget. And even though they forget and act like they forget it. Somewhere in their heart, they know. So try to help someone be part of this course. We just want to do this as a free thing, and as well, we want to do this as a weekend thing. And we're hoping to do this over time, where we're going to also talk about some statistical tools, some business report tools, some cloud-based tools. We're going to do a lot with this weekend bootcamp. But for now, we just want to start with the tools that everybody's talking about. All right. So try as much as to recommend this to someone. You just don't know what the person might gain and how they might get good at it and how much they'll be grateful for you for. All right. So that's what I'll recommend. Let's talk about the last question and then we'll take questions from everybody, which is after the weekend bootcamp, what next? I'm feeling I should answer the question after the weekend bootcamp. Or should I answer it now? No. Let me ask. Let me answer it after the weekend bootcamp. So I'll leave you to learn. I'll leave you to focus. I'll leave you to have a nice time. After it, I will then address us on our presentation date after the weekend bootcamp. What next? So that you can make the decision now you've taken your time to enjoy the class. But if I say it now, a number of us will feel like, oh, and then those things will no. I don't want to say it. I'm holding back my last question. So just just subscribe to this channel to get the last question answer. Anyway, that's just it for now. So after the weekend bootcamp, what next, right? I don't know. I know, but I'm not sharing. I'll share it with us in the last day of the program when we're presenting to industry leaders and the other data professionals. Okay, so this is where you ask me question about the program and what you're looking forward to, and anything you did not get, you can ask me. All right, so I see Adewale hand is up. Hi, Adewale. Good evening. Hope you enjoyed the session. Do you have a question for me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Chief. I hear you. Good evening.
All right, good evening. Good evening, everyone. And good evening, the moderator, the organizers of this program. Yeah, I sincerely appreciate the organizers of this program for this wonderful opportunity. It's rare, but I want to thank them for this. Yeah, my question is one. I think there are a lot of boot camp when it comes to Power BI, it comes to Tableau, and when it comes to Excel, there are a lot.
I know,
So, but
right?
sometimes when it comes to the hands on, that is where me I'm always more concerned about because it's
Mm,
always cool. At least in 2 3 hours, if somebody is dedicated, you can learn what's it called? How do I put it? You can learn all the features of Power BI yeah, that what's it called? You can just learn it at a glance, like on the surface, just touching it. Okay, this is used for this is used for that. These are charts, all those stuff. But the hands-on, okay, you are giving a what's it called, a question brief. Yes, then how will you interpret all these questions? How will you go about solving this question? Yes, that is where the what's it called, where those things lies, like answering, solving problem, real company problem exactly. So I want to ask that question that yes, this we the bootcamp we want to do, is it like the common one? Like how can you how can you give us that that courage or that buoyancy that okay, this we are want to do is not like the common ones
All right,
that we
I get
get
you
to
actually.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. So, fun enough, and truth be told, we don't want to do another talk session. We've had a talk session in the analytic experience, and we did a little of like demonstration in the analytic experience. What we're trying to do this time around, so what we're trying to do this time around is more hands-on. I wish I could allow a coach to unmute his mic, but I want to give them that respect till they meet you in the class so you can be very expectant to know what they have to say. When I was having a conversation with the coaches, we designed the program to be more practical. In fact, I was talking to the Excel guy and I said, show me what you want to give them. And when I looked at this material, I was like, wow, this is a full project. Are you sure they can? In fact, the Tableau coach was asking me, I'm not sure they can actually do all these things I want to teach them in this weekend. But he's still going to do the practical with you. So this is going to be a practical session. I can promise you that. Okay. It's not theoretical. Theoretical is even 30 minutes. Like the 30 minutes of this event is talk. The remaining is practice. That's why I said you're going to present your project on Sunday. Will you present a talking project? No, now you present a practical thing. So that's why we're even putting Sunday as a presentation of what you would be have been given in the class to do as a case study. And it's gonna come from a case study approach. Anyway, I'll talk about that in the presentation. Let me not expose it here. But it's gonna be practical. That's something that I can bet you on. If it's not practical, come back to me. I'll give you a practical class personally. All right, thank you so much for that, Adewale. Yeah, Kaka. Good evening. How you doing? Your hand is up. You want to ask me a question?
Good evening, everybody.
Hi. Good evening.
I'm Winifred Hassan Jitango from Tanzania.
Oh, nice. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm very happy. But my question is, I'm intermediate, especially in data analysis with tools like R, Excel, SPSS, and Stata.
Okay.
Now I'm a volunteer in a certain organization dealing with lighting and business solutions.
Okay.
I'm a data analyst. But my
Okay.
question is, I don't know how about more ability or skills in something like W and the Power BI. So most of organizations, especially in Tanzania, when you tell them that I have ability in Power BI, they ask you, show us your verification. I mean that they want a certificate to verify that you can something like you talking. So I want to ask, after a project, can we get a certificate to even after entering the certain company, and I tell them I have ability concerning Power BI and this is my verification. So how can you help us?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. And yes, you're actually right. A couple of organizations like to see a certification or something that consolidates your knowledge in analytical tools, which is actually
Yeah.
good. So this is
Yeah.
what we want to do. We know that 1 week, 2 weeks is not enough to certify us. Okay, we know 1 week, 2 weeks is not enough to certify us because um, this is just to help us meet with people that are doing well and learn some basic stuff and get access to some resources. So after this weekend boot camp, there is supposed to be an industry project-based approach learning. It's a project for 9 weeks. It's a 9 weeks project-based training. So we call it
Okay.
StartX Industry, where people like you that already have the core knowledge of data analysis and have the skills, but
Yes.
need a certification and projects from different industry to back up how good you are in the tool, you can sign up for the course. It is happening starting in January, but it's more focused on projects and it's real life project actually. And then it's also focused on industries. It's not just learning, it's project based, where you're going to be having session with industry leaders on a bi-weekly basis, and you're going to have session with mentors on a bi-weekly basis too. So it's more of a that's the program that we can certify us, because then it's going to be a 9 weeks training where you're going to be tested on different industry problem case approach. But for this weekend bootcamp, we won't be giving a certificate. Only a certificate of attendance we can provide, but we cannot provide a certified skill as a expert in a particular tool, because it's just 1 week. So it's just an attendance. Oh, you attended the weekend bootcamp, but we won't be giving a certificate for this one as a certified. It's the training that is 8 weeks, 9 weeks training. That's the one we're going to give a certificate. So you can always reach out to me so I could give you more information about that one. But this one, I can't promise you that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking that question. That was good. All right. One more or two more questions. We still have 5 minutes before we call it a night. We still have 5 minutes before we call it a night. Still have 5 minutes more. Question. All right. I would like to give the next 2 minutes to the Tableau coach in the person of Mr. Kolawale to just address us and hear him talk to us, because he's actually a very good friend of mine, and I just respect his presence here. Mr. Kolawale, good evening. Can you hear us? Oh, okay, he
Good
can hear us. He's using the reaction
evening,
button.
Timothy,
All right. If
and
you in a if you're
everyone.
in a noisy, oh, okay, he can hear. Hi, good evening.
Can
Do
you
you
hear me?
mind
Can
just
you hear me now?
addressing us a bit what we can look forward to in the? Yes, I hear you clearly. You're
Yeah.
welcome. How are you doing?
All right. So once again, good evening, everyone. I hope we're all doing very well today. And let me start from where Mr. Timothy ended. He said, "I'm a very good friend. Don't mind him. He's my boss. Yeah, he's my boss. Like he has been the one holding my hands ever since I started my data analytics journey, and he has actually influenced my my data analytics story like a lot. I can't write my story without him being in the whole thing. And then also SBC community as a whole. Please, if you've not joined any community, I'm going to be employing you. Please try as much as possible to join a data community, not just a data community now, an active data community. I can tell you, Mr. Timothy is doing a lot with SBC data. At times, I sit down and I ask myself, can I do what this man is doing? Seriously, like there are a lot of programs going on that are put in place for, let me say, beginners, intermediate, in everybody. Are you getting my point? So please, if you've not joined a data community, ensure that you find a data community to join and be actively involved. Ensure that you participate. At least at the point in time, I remember then, I think that was sometimes last year or earlier this year, I think I participated in the StartX R programming project because I noticed that I've
Yeah.
not written R for a while, so I had to participate. Do you get me? So even though I'm in the field for like, let's say maybe 3 or 4 years now, at least I'm still learning. And that will take me to one of the statements that he made, that if you are truly or if you are really into this data analytics stuff, regardless of any level you are, either an expert or master or intermediate, you will still find yourself going back to the beginners level. And that's just the fact. It's just the fact. Unless if you want pride to take over and you say that, hey, no, I've passed beginner. I must tell you, I was on LinkedIn yesterday and someone was ranting. I think he's a data scientist, and he was ranting that he did an interview with Amazon, and the interviewer was asking him a formula, I think around regression. Yeah, I think around regression like that. Just a simple formula. So he was ranting that why would they be asking what was it called, formula in an interview, that this formula that they were asking
that he has written that formula, like let me say over 10 years ago, because he is currently working. It's not that maybe he's a newbie to the data scientist, to the data science field rather. Are you getting my point? But the fact that where he has been working, he does not find a need to actually write that formula in over 10 years. So an interviewer coming to ask him for that regression formula, and he couldn't, like, he was frustrated, and I think he couldn't get the role, maybe because of that. Are you getting? So Mr. Timothy was also making mention of it, that it's been a while that he wrote a lookup function. Are you getting me? So see, after reading that yesterday, I think I spoke with a friend of mine that we stay together, and I was telling him that I don't know why interviewers will do this, because when you check the data analytics space and atmosphere, you notice that there are a lot of things that we are learning, that we are trying. You are coming from Power BI, you have to learn all the DAX. You are coming to Tableau, you have to learn let me just also call it DAX, but then you still write some little languages like that in Tableau. Are you getting me? You are going to SQL, you want to know all the SQL functions, the what's it called, the aggregations, like window functions. We have a lot. You want to do Python, you want to do Excel. Are you getting my point? You can't remember all these things. So one of the way in which you would have to keep yourself going is to coming back to that beginner's class and just refresh. It's not as though maybe you don't know it. Are you getting my point? But then you need to keep refreshing it, to keep refreshing your memory. Are you getting my point? So I want to assure us that from these 2 weeks bootcamp, that we are going to like learn a lot. Are you getting me? And I'm looking forward to meet my students in class for the Tableau class. The Tableau community has a lot for you guys. Are you getting me? Most especially the students, because I am an academic ambassador. Are you getting me? And my main focus is on students. Are you getting? So we have a lot of should I call it package, right from e-learning, how you can learn Tableau like fully. You're going to learn it. There's a learning part. I'm going to walk you through that. If you are still a student, how you can get the Tableau desktop license for free. It's a 1 year license. What's it called? Tableau desktop is a paid software. Are you getting me? But as a student, once you get the license, you can use it for a whole 1 year without paying. And if you still have another extra, like if you still have another year in school to use, you can renew the license. You can keep renewing it till you graduate. So these are some of the things that we are going to discuss in our class tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through. We are going to open the free account together, and then we are also going to discuss data visualization. Majorly, we are going to discuss data analytics. Majorly, are you getting me? So just ensure that you have an expectation. Are you getting me? Please don't make your expectations to be high so that I won't disappoint. But then just ensure you have an expectation so that you can go with something. Are you getting my point? So, and at the end of the day, I want to like sum up everything I've said so far with this, that knowledge is based on the compounding effect. Are you getting me? You keep learning bit by bit and keep growing bit by bit. You can't just grow once. Are you getting me? So knowledge, you have to compound knowledge to become that better version of yourself that you want to see and that you want to become. Are you getting me? And I hope to see every one of us tomorrow in class for the Tableau lover. So thank you very much. Let's all have a good night. Thanks.
Wow, Mr. Kalawale, nice one, nice one, nice one. You have taken all the good things I want to say. Nice one. He's actually very right, though. He's just very right. Everything he's saying just makes sense. Seriously, you have to appreciate your starting, your fundamentals, guys. So I won't say much. I won't say much. That's your coach for Tableau. You're gonna be listening to him live. He's a very patient person. He's on trainings with people. Aside from what he do as a Tableau ambassador, he has done training, so he can walk us through all the learning that is expected of us to learn. A lot of people that have gone into data analysis and have succeeded still refer back to his lessons. And personally, he's someone that has a patience to learn, to teach. So I look forward to seeing you guys in Tableau. I look forward to seeing you guys in Power BI because it's 2-2s happening tomorrow. And with this, I would say thank you for listening. And I hope to see us in class tomorrow. The link is going to be sent to the group. And this video will be available too, so that we can also recap on it and enjoy more of the sessions as they come in. Have a lovely evening, guys. Have a lovely good night rest, and we will talk better in class and as well in the chats. Bye for now. Good night.